All right, so today we're going to dive into something that I think is pretty relevant, especially if you've ever worked a cash register,
Yeah.
stocked a shelf, or even just walked into a store in New York.
Yeah.
Because we are talking about New York's new panic button law.
Yeah, this isn't just some random button.
Right.
This is serious stuff, officially called the Retail Worker Safety Act,
Okay.
or RWSAD.
RWS Act, got it. So what's the big deal with this?
So,
Why is this law suddenly making headlines, and why should we care?
well, I mean, think about it for a second, right?
Yeah.
Retail workers, they're often dealing with the public, sometimes late at night, sometimes alone.
Yeah.
There's always a chance of things getting a little unpredictable.
Right.
Right?
Totally. I've definitely had those moments where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be working this closing shift alone.
And unfortunately, it's a real concern. The National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, NEOSASHA, them.
Yeah.
They did a study that showed retail workers have a significantly higher risk of workplace violence than many other professions.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of eye-opening. So RWSAT is basically saying, hey, businesses, you need to step up and protect your people.
Precisely.
Okay.
And they're not messing around. We're talking major chains here.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's, Target, Marriott hotels, places we all know.
Right.
And probably frequent. They're all going to need to have these panic button systems in place.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I'm guessing this isn't just about sticking a big red button under the counter and
Yeah.
calling it a day.
This is where the tech angle gets really interesting. We're talking about systems that can instantly send alerts to multiple people.
Oh, wow.
The second that button is pressed.
So like a bat signal,
Yeah,
but for employee safety.
I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like that. Companies like SimplifiedAlerts.com, and just to be clear, we're not sponsored by them or anything, they're doing some pretty cool stuff with SMS group notifications.
SMS, you mean text messages?
Yep. So when that panic button is pressed, boom, everyone who needs to know, manager, security, maybe even other employees in the area, they all get a text alert instantly.
Wow, so that's seriously fast. But what if someone's not even at the store?
Right.
Say the regional manager is at home watching TV or something.
That's the beauty of it. These alerts aren't limited by location. That manager could be anywhere on their way home, on vacation, wherever, and they'll still get that message in seconds.
So they'll know something's up right away.
Right.
No matter where they are. That's pretty amazing. But it makes you wonder,
Yeah.
what happens after that initial alert? Is it just a one and done okay we know, or is there more to it?
That's a great question. And that gets to the heart of why this technology is so interesting. It's not just about reacting to an immediate threat.
Right.
It's about using those incidents to actually improve safety protocols overall,
Okay, now you've got me really intrigued. So tell me more about that.
Think about it this way.
Uh,
Every time that panic button gets pressed,
okay.
it creates a data point.
Right.
Over time, that information can be incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
Businesses can start to see patterns.
Yeah.
Maybe most incidents happen on weekend nights, or maybe there's a particular location in the store
Oh, interesting.
that seems prone to problems.
So it's like having a safety audit that's constantly running in the background.
Exactly. And that data can be used to make real changes. Imagine using that data to realize
Oh, yeah.
most incidents happen on Friday nights.
Right.
Well, now you can schedule extra security
Smart.
or train staff on de-escalation specifically for those shifts.
That's huge. You're not just reacting after the fact, you're proactively making things safer. But I do have to ask, this law is specifically about New York, right? What about the rest of the country? Could we start seeing similar laws pop up in other states?
It's definitely a possibility, I think. This law is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And it's sending a clear message that worker safety, especially in industries like retail and food service, is becoming a top priority for sure.
Yeah, it's like New York is setting a precedent.
In a way, yes. And you know what they say?
As goes New York, so goes the nation.
Exactly.
Right. But I imagine there would be some challenges with rolling out a law like this nationwide.
Absolutely. One of the biggest hurdles would be cost.
Yeah.
These systems aren't exactly cheap.
Right.
Equipping every business, especially smaller ones, with this kind of technology would be a significant investment.
Yeah. Because not every business has the budget of a McDonald's.
Exactly. So finding ways to make this technology more accessible and affordable would be crucial. And even beyond the upfront cost.
Yeah.
You've got training, maintenance, maybe even subscription fees for those notification services.
Yeah.
It adds up.
It's a lot to consider. But even if those practical challenges can be addressed, there are also some bigger picture questions to think about too, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
For example, there's the question of privacy.
Right.
These systems are collecting data on employee activity and location.
That's a really good point. I hadn't even thought about that, but it makes total sense.
It's important to have clear guidelines about how that data is being used, who has access to it,
Right.
and what safeguards are in place to prevent misuse.
It's a powerful tool, but like any tool, it needs to be used responsibly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that responsibility falls on both the businesses implementing the technology
Yeah,
and the companies developing it.
totally. It sounds like there's a lot to unpack there. Where do you even begin to address something like that?
Well, transparency is a good place to start.
Okay, I can see that.
Employees need to be fully informed about how these systems work, what data is being collected, and how it's being used.
Yeah. It's like we always say, knowledge is power,
Right.
but it comes with responsibility.
Huge responsibility.
You've got to be upfront and open about how this kind of technology is being used.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I think that's how you build trust. And ultimately, that trust is what makes these systems effective. Because if employees feel like they're being spied on, they're not going to use the system even when they really need to.
Exactly. It's a two-way street, for
Right.
sure. But, for all the complexities we've been discussing, it is pretty incredible to think that this is all stemming from a simple idea, which is basically just give workers a way to call for help.
It's a perfect example of how a seemingly simple solution can have these far-reaching implications.
Apparently.
It makes you think what other innovations are out there that could change the game for workplace safety.
That's a great question, and it's something that we'd love to hear your thoughts on. What do you think, listeners? What kind of tech-driven safety measures would you like to see in the future? Head over to our social media handle here, and let us know.
Yeah, we want
We're always up for a good brainstorming session.
Absolutely.
And who knows, your idea might just spark our next deep dive.
That's right.
All right, everyone, until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay safe out there.